Okay, you're on, you're going. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. And feel free to talk or not.
I will. You know, I'm going to say a little bit about the egg. I'm just talking, and it will pick me up. I'm going to say a little bit about the egg here. It starts with an egg, and it starts with me going very lightly in position 2, which is the soft, fuzzy-wuzzy line. We want to start very soft. Now notice that the egg is slightly tipped. It's not, she's pretty straightforward, but she's slightly tipped. Now let's see, where's my ruler? Here, just so you can see this. This is the central vertical axis, right down the center of the face. And look, you see that it is at a slight angle. We're always measuring against the edges of the picture plane, which is a perfect vertical, perfect horizontal. So using this, I can slightly angle this, and just to show you, I'm going to make a very light line down the central vertical axis, which takes you right down the center of the egg. So I'm gonna that just gets me centered. So I get my features in the right position. Now here, remember the skull that I showed you last week? Well, here I'm going to just lightly color in. It's a sort of a pentagonal shape, and we'll see that more clearly when we look at the planes of the head man. You see this angle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sort of ish. And this is a little bit close because we do have the bone here, so I'm gonna just ease that out. And you know, when you're working so lightly, it just doesn't make any difference. Now remember, we also have this slight angle. So if I have this at a slight angle, then this has to be a little bit higher, just a little bit. It's quite subtle, and it's often missed. So I'm just sketching in, and this is what I've been for years calling the egg and the ghost. And the ghost are just the ghostly shadows that we need to pay attention to, because the eyes are set in, and then the nose is built out. So there I've got a little shadow there. I'm just playing around. Now, I think maybe I don't need this line anymore. That's just to really show you what the deal is there. Okay, so this. The eyes are gonna more or less be here. I'm just feeling my way. And if it's off, it doesn't really make any difference. Now the nose is in between this part where we were dealing with this kind of shelf, and I'm going to just sort of sketch it in like so. And that is what I'm doing, is sort of sketching in the shadow that's cast by the awning, which is the nose. The nose comes out from the face, it's like an awning, and there is always shadow under the awning. That's what makes the nose stick out. And now we have, just going to slightly indicate the little line. I just blocked on the word. And now I'm going to so we have the eyes more or less in the middle, riding a little bit up, but this is the top of the head, this is the chin. So we have the eyes sort of in the middle. We have the nose between the eyes and the chin, and we have the mouth aperture between the nose and the chin line. And I'm just gonna basically lightly sketch that in. And already you see the ghost of a face. It's already there. it's amazing how just getting your shadows in the right place. Now you see that wonderful little triangular shape there? That's just going to make the chin stick out. And the hair is a curtain. And so I'm just going to suggest it. It comes in over the face. And this is a beautiful little 14, 15-year-old girl. Just so lovely to do. So I'm just going to, this is just, and I'm going to come around here. And she's looking down a little bit. We're going to close in that, narrow in the forehead with the curtain of the hair. And then you have this lovely shape here, swooping down. And notice how, you see how everything is still so light. No commitments. But I am going to show you that there is a neck here just by this little curve indicating the top of her sweater. Now this is a good dark. Now I have not committed. Notice I have not changed the position of my hand. I'm just playing with the form now. I'm just playing with it, not committing to anything. When I commit to a line, I will change the position of my hand to the contour, to make the, remember this is the contour line, very hard edged, and this is position 2. This is looks like a ribbon. So I'm using, I'm alternating always between those. So I think I will commit to a contour right here. Sort of a contour-ish, because there's that good hard edge there that you want to, and now I'm going to follow this down, and her face is narrow, so I don't want it to be, I want to make sure I indicate that, and then we're going to angle in, and then up here you got this curve, it comes down, and you're always finding and losing line. Never make a line like this with, equal pressure all the way. That's like a coloring book line. You want to finesse your line. Dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. And look at, suddenly you've got a string waving in the breeze. Now this is an angle coming in. I'm going to get that. Notice I have not even begun to think about putting features on this egg yet. I've just indicated where they're going to go. Now this, and let's see. Always be doing your measurements. So it looks like this shoulder line is intersecting right about there. So I'm going to come out here and I just draw a little line. And that indicates her shoulder. Okay. Okay. So maybe I will darken this a little bit now. Just basically, I'm blocking in the shapes of the values. I'm just blocking in shapes of darks and light. Not going into any detail, just getting shapes. Right here, that's a nice dark line coming down. And then it comes up here, and then you've got the part with some darks. Now notice we have the light is coming. You see where the little bounce in the pupil is? That's a lightest light there. And at the angle means that the light is coming from about here. So I'm going to just to show you, there is where the light is coming from. We always have to pay attention because it's going to be darker it's going to be darker on the other side of the face. So I'm just going to go a little now. I'm going to commit to this dark a little bit more. And this dark on the right side that I'm working on is darker than this dark, but this is still a dark because it's the inset where the eyes are set in. So I'm going to darken that a little, but this is a little bit darker. And you just play, just studying. Now I'm going to do this is where the bridge, the overhang on the skull that we looked at last week. This is the hair grows on that bony ridge. So I'm just going to darken that because that's where the hair is. And she has a nice straight line here and a nice straight line. And this just helps, this is just me playing. Now, wait a minute. No, now you see what I've done here? Now, look at, we have to honor this slight curve, and I haven't honored it. Look at that, see? So I catch myself up. I'm at such an easy stage of this now, having made no real commitment. So I'm gonna get this line. Here's the eyebrow. I'm gonna tilt it up, and I'm just gonna use this to help me a little bit.
It's been 9-ish minutes, so do you want to find a good stopping point? It doesn't have to be right now.
Okay, I'm just getting the eye. See, now I've created that slight tilt. Okay, we can stop now.